In the next 5 to 8 years, there'll be 10, possibly 7 to 10 Hall of Famers out of that draft class.
Can you give me a couple names?
I'm not going to say myself, but hello, hi. I think Cam Hayward's on the cusp. There's
Hello,
It did.
hi.
It did.
Did he just gloss over that? I'm not going to introduce myself. Hello, hi.
Well,
That was a good one. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Peanut Tillman, and this is the NFL Players Second Acts podcast. My guy Roman Harper with me. What's up? Why are you laughing right now? Why you got that pretty smile on your face? Talk to me.
well, because our guest just gave you the craziest look. He wasn't ready.
He was not
And
ready.
He was not ready.
Why was he not ready?
Because he knows you, and that was a lot of energy, and that was really good by you. So
I love it. We just talked about a little coffee shot. And you said, let me bring the juice.
Yeah, it was like boom, boom. It all just happened really fast. Anyways, I want to give a shout out to all of our listeners out there and viewers, wherever you take in your podcast, whether it's iHeart or Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating, a review. Leave a comment, please. Please continue to hit that follow button, share, 5-star ratings, all the works. Peanut, who is our guest today? He's a great friend of mine. I've seen him since he was a young pup. Go ahead.
Well, this young pup has
A full beard.
Okay. This young pup has a full beard, 8 Pro Bowls, 3-time All-Pro. He says the 2011 draft class is somehow the best draft class. We'll see. He has his own podcast, Off the Edge with Cam Jordan. Ladies and gentlemen, Cam Jordan.
Wow, appreciate it.
What's going on? Welcome to the pod. Why do you think the 2011 draft class is the best? 2011 draft class is the best. Draft?
There's great draft class.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys can mention all the
Right.
guys we're a part of. That doesn't really hold a candle to ours.
Is it just because you're saying it, or do you have like something to support?
No, that first round was strong. First round was strong.
I mean, some would say in the next 5 to 8 years there'll be 10, possibly 7 to 10 Hall of Famers out of that draft class.
Can you give me a couple names? I don't know this draft class.
You would say Von Miller.
Von Miller. Okay. Lock.
AJ Green may get there. I'm not going to say Lock.
Okay.
May get there. We're going to say Patrick Peterson.
Julio might get in there.
Julio, Pat P, Julio, J.J. Watt. I'm not going to say myself, but hello, hi. I think Cam Hayward's on the cusp. If you look at our draft class, it just was hard to miss. It was unless you said quarterbacks, because after Cam, then
Yeah, it got real slippery.
oh, man.
Hello,
It did.
hi.
It did.
Did he just gloss over that? I'm not going to introduce myself. Hello, hi.
Hello.
Well,
That was a good one.
first of all,
I like that.
I love
like
that
that.
because I think Cam has had an outstanding career up to this point. It's been a real blessing for me to actually saw and sit here and watch his whole maturity and his growth and all those other things. What I really have a question about, because I do think you will be in the Hall of Fame. You've got the numbers.
Yes, you
and
do.
your numbers, 117 and a half sacks. That's outstanding. I didn't realize until after you hit 100 how happy I was for you. But anyways, what was your first welcome to the NFL moment?
Oh man.
Because that's weird, because your dad played in the league.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you've been around the NFL.
there were so many of them, but I think now with you just sitting here, I know for sure it was probably it took 16 weeks for me to get a sack.
No doubt.
And
I saw this guy
16
push Cam.
weeks.
He pushed Cam Newton like he was Cam was just going to fall.
I didn't push Cam Newton. I smacked Cam Newton with
Like he was
everything
going
that
to
I had.
fall. He didn't wrap up. He just hit him and
But not hit him. That was 300-pound Cam. That is
Yeah.
15 pounds heavier than what I normally play at now.
Yeah.
This is like a grown man.
he did.
And I smacked Cam, hit him dead in the chest, and this man Cam ate it, lifted a couple feet, landed, turned, ran, completed a pass. It was. I said, "Oh shit!"
I'm telling you.
I said, "I don't think
realize
it
how
was.
I
big
don't think
he
I'm meant
is.
for this league."
We all looked at him like, Cam, that was it. That was it. And you just, my bad, guys.
Yeah,
My bad.
that was my rookie year. Was a series of could have probably ended with 5 or 6.
Yeah.
and ended with 1.
Was that your first season ever only having 1 sack?
I have no idea. I just had this last season being destroyed as I was on the leg. I ended up with 2. So like,
Okay. Two's better. Two is better.
there's humbling moments in life. And rookie year was one, and this last year was the other.
Okay. So do you remember your first and only touchdown? Do you know when that
Hell
came?
yeah, Detroit, Matt
Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. This is the 12th batted ball by the Saints. What an effort by Cam Jordan. Is able to seal it off.
You got the unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown.
That makes sense. I was literally
Was you just so hyped?
I was about to like elevate and like hold it up like it was a trophy and do a little dance, and then the teammates grabbed me and I was like, ah, next had a dunk, and I went for a dunk, had to clear it, and then
What did Mickey say?
Nothing. What was it to say? I was going crazy that game. It was like 2 or 3 sacks. It was like 4 or 5 TFLs. It was four or 5 pass deflections. It was one of those games where you were just like, there's nothing that I can't do. You know, like when you enter that element, that zone, and you're just like,
You had to glow.
Yeah,
The Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon.
You had to glow. You had to glow.
When you go into the sideline, and you're like, feed me.
Yeah.
And coach is like, you're down this series. You're down this series. I'm in. Yeah. It's way too much juice.
So how did you, because you talked about getting to that zone, all right? Early on in your career, it was not that, but you worked at it. Like the one thing
It wasn't not that. It just wasn't that for sacks.
Right.
I was killing the run.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never seen anybody as great a shape as you've been in as a defensive lineman. Like, I know you take a lot of pride in your ability to run and play every snap the way that you do. What do you think that comes from? And, like, how have you just continued to grow?
It came from you, Rome. It came from you and Malcolm Jenkins and John Vilma. It came from all you old heads.
That's not why I asked that question.
But that being said, no. Because rookies would not make it in the way that I came into the league. Like when I entered the draft, right? Before all this draft stuff happened, I thought I was going to be a top 15 pick. I went and visited the Saints, and Bill Johnson was the D-line coach at the time, sat me down and was like, hey, baby, I love your game. I really don't know why you're here. You won't be here 24. And I said, damn. He's like, yeah, so we're just going to catch some beignets. And, like, literally had a great time.
Sounds like Bill.
And sent me on my way. I get drafted 24th overall. Bill Johnson, whatever it is, we're sitting there talking. I'm like, man. He's like, man, I didn't think you'd come. Now look at you. And on that day, I was like, damn, the Saints really love me. Like, they said they was going to come get me. They stopped me from falling. I entered the building, whatever that is, after you sign the contract during camp, because it was a lockout year, so I really didn't see anybody till whatever that was. Get into the building, I'm like, yeah. I was like, Bill loves me. I was like, they want me to start. He's already given me a plan, like all this other stuff. I walk in, and I'm like, okay, I know some of the guys. Coach Joe Vitt at the time.
Oh,
I'm like,
he talked bad to you.
Never had met this man a day in my life. Hey, Ron. I'm like, and I'm just like, I'm happy-go-lucky. I'm drafted. I just signed. I'm about to get a check. Bank gonna be nice. And then so I walk in. I'm like, good morning. Like just on some typical, like just happy to be here, smiling ear to ear.
Yeah.
A little heavy because all I've been doing is eating the whole time. And then Joe V. Hey, Roman, JV, who's this guy over here? Who is this guy? Who's third base talking to me like this? And I'm just like, bro, all I said was good morning. Like, we had who was our D coordinator at the time? Greg Williams. Greg Williams was there. So
No, that might have been.
No,
it was Greg.
Greg Williams. So Greg Williams there, and he just resounds the message. Yeah, these rookies, they've come in entitled. For the rest of that year, it would be like, this third base, JV, John Vilma. Third base isn't even right for this guy. This guy born with the diamond spoon in his mouth.
And for those that don't understand, all right,
Please
he's correct.
explain.
He's correct. He's very correct. So in our locker room at the time, none of us had parents or anybody that actually been in the league. So Cam was the only one.
No, he wasn't. Mark was. It was me.
Yeah,
and
but
Mark.
he was on offense, and we didn't get down with that.
He had a royal time.
He had a great time over there with the offense. They probably loved him all the time, not on defense. So Cam comes in, and we made Cam like earn it. Like it was like
As
he's
you're
a first,
supposed to,
but he's
though.
a first round pick that was supposed to be starting. We let him start, but we didn't really talk to him. And we said that he started on second or third base because his dad played in the league, silver spoon, blah blah blah. But I think it made him a lot more mentally tough. And then now I see him react with like young people now, and he's like, dude, there's no way these people could have made it when I came in. Like he was.
Jizzy couldn't have did it.
Man, I'm just the guys come in and like they want to talk to you on the side, like, hey, bro, like you don't have to go that hard. Like, first of all, you're being a
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It is like, so I need you to pull your britches up and be a big boy.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. You've been coddled your whole life. You know, like
Yeah.
now like younger guys, like you have to worry about the mentals. I love it. You know, I love how the game has changed.
Yeah.
I hate it at the same time. Like, you know, I love how, you know, we focus on prehab.
Right.
You know, I love how the evolution of the training facilities has changed. Coaches are tuning into, hey, make sure you're getting your massages and your treatments and all that.
Right.
When I first got 2011, that wasn't happening.
No.
2011, Sean Payton kept our training rehab facility at like 55 degrees. It was
Keep everybody
freezing,
out.
Freezing cold.
Frozen.
No TVs. He didn't want you to enjoy rehab. And he was like, hey, the longer you're out here, the more chance a guy is coming to take your job. And he made it clear. And you were like, but I'm a first rounder. Like, clearly he's not going anywhere.
Clearly, I got at least 3 years.
So if the 2011 draft was done over again, where do you think you would go?
Hopefully he's still New Orleans. Now, that being said,
You wouldn't last to 24, though.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
talking
hopefully they'd
about,
have
like,
to come
the
to
order.
get at me. Yeah.
Would you be a top 10
I
in
thought,
that
I mean,
in
I
that
thought I was
class?
the top 15 already. And when I saw, guys like Alden Smith go to San Francisco, I really wanted to go to Frisco at the time. I mean, I was at Berkeley.
Alden kind of balled too early.
He went fastest to 45 sacks ever.
Dude, he
you
balled
couldn't
early.
really miss in our class. You know, like
Yeah.
I remember. It would probably been somewhere in there. I thought I was like praying to God the Vikings didn't draft me because it snows. You know how I feel about the cold.
Yeah.
Right. So I want no smoke with anybody that has a day-to-day under 70 degrees. If your winter is under 50, I have problems with you.
Oh.
I'm a very sweater and shorts and flip-flops guy.
Come to Chicago.
New Orleans has totally just messed you up. Like,
Has it? I'm from Arizona.
yeah.
That has
you are
been my
like,
life.
You
California.
Chicago.
New Orleans.
came
Guess
to
what I've
Chicago.
never had to do? Die on the inside. Guess what you do at Chicago, Cleveland, the Ohio, the New York.
Tell it,
I'm
Cam.
sure you die on the inside.
Tell it,
every,
Cam.
every day you're like, oh, it's so lovely out here. It's a crisp 33.
terrible.
Kiss my whole
I
derriere.
be calling him when I'm shoveling the driveway, and I'm like, yo, man, this is what it is.
That's where you
It
get your
ain't-
workout in. You don't have to work out because you're shoveling the driveway.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it.
It's terrible.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. So what's been the key to your success, though, for playing
Not
at a
freezing.
high level
Yeah.
for so long? Since 2011 in that draft class, you played 209 games. And counting. You still go.
Out of possible what, though? 211? I feel like I've missed.
That's the most of anybody.
That's
in
the
this
most out of
class.
anybody in that draft class. You have it. Out of that whole 2011 draft class, you got 209 games, and you still going.
I believe.
With the 117 and a half sack. I don't really understand how half sacks work, but
you share them somehow. Like,
yeah.
This
Even though you
was
get
a
the
huge
first-
thing when him and Junior Gillette were teammates.
oh my gosh.
This was a
Oh
people
my
were
gosh.
trying to dive on quarterbacks and get up fast first to
Woo,
dance.
hey,
Whoever could
you
get up
had to
first to
celebrate.
dance. Like it
You
was,
had to celebrate.
it was
how
a
does the
whole
sack work,
deal.
though? So if me and you touch Rome at the same time, like how does the sack work?
But
If
who,
I touched him
but
first.
who? Yeah.
How does it
That's how
work?
you split it. If you and me,
I'm
hit
going. I
Rome
got the
at the same
tackle.
time.
I'm going down. But they come over and try and
Just hop on.
just hop on. Just
gotta get in there.
half it.
We really was in there. Like we both did all the work. So like it's really ours. It's a group project. Come on, everybody deserves a little
Team effort.
Yeah, a little something.
Team effort.
gosh.
But what's been your secret though for just playing at a high level for so long?
I'm being blessed and highly favored. I feel like my God works in mysterious ways. I told all my old heads, I was like, look, man, I was like, Pop's played in the league 13 years. He hit 6 Pro Bowls. Got to get at least one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like I came into the right group. Like I said, all the coaches sort of hard on me that first year where they told me young guys had to earn third down, nothing would be given. And it was like, oh, we don't let rookies play third down. And then after that, I saw nothing but rookies on third down. It was
just you.
it's a chip that I'm going to carry for the rest of my life.
You
But
should.
but just the idea where I had to earn that third down. Like I was given a chance to start first and second down. They wanted me to be a 4-eye, which is more like a D-tackle hybrid, and I wanted to be a defensive end and prove my point that I was like, yo, me on the edge is a problem.
You know the thing that I appreciate about Cam
Like,
and the young group
White
of
Lightning.
D linemen that we had in New Orleans was that every single one of them had like their own very unique celebration.
Yeah.
And so I remember like it was yesterday. I told Cam, I'm like, Cam, like you're starting to get sacks now. You got to do something to kind of separate yourself. Like, what's your celebration going to be? I don't think he had actually thought about it. White Lightning had where he would like unscrew a lightning bulb.
I had never understood what that was. I was like, well, he's white lightning, so maybe is that him? With
He's
the
doing
clouds
he's doing
summoning
work.
Lightning.
He said he's doing work. He's just working.
I thought he was getting
Yeah,
ready to
so
grab
he
a
would
lightning
unscrew.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Junior Gillette had something. Will Smith had something. Like everybody, Cedric Ellis had something. Like everybody had something. And so this was like big because now I see Cam do the same celebration consistently. Now he's on Madden, you know, leveling up. And so this is like, I love it because like I've seen this man, and you talked about all the thing that he's gone into and how the hard work. And so it's just been really cool to see Cam continue to grow and now be not only like a face in New Orleans, but like a face in the NFL.
which is crazy. It's good crazy. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to think about, you know, like especially as a defensive end, especially as coming out of New Orleans, where we're one of the smaller markets.
Yes, it is.
For sure. You know, and I think a lot of things just sort of hit our favor.
Yeah.
You know, we hit a strong playoff stretch where I felt like we were clearly going to win one for like 3 years straight.
Yeah.
And even though we didn't, you know, you got to take advantage of those opportunities. Things had to stop us, like a Minnesota Miracle. You know, a referee going blind. Maybe he was looking at the solar eclipse the other day. You know, he was like, there was clear cut, you know, reasons why we didn't go, and just, you know, but because of that, we also hit a hot stride. And when you hit a hot streak, you gotta enjoy the ride.
Okay. Do you have a number in mind as far as like sacks are concerned, where you'll be like, all right, this is the number?
Yeah, 17 and a half ago.
So you wanted to get 100.
This is lanyap. Like in my life, this is all lanyap. In my mind, when I first got to the league, I was like, yo, if I can get 50 sacks. I was like, 50 sacks, that's a hell of a career. I was like, you know, there's guys in this league that never get more than 10. I was like, I got to get more than 10.
All right.
Because then you're like, as a first rounder, you're a bust.
Oh yeah, you got to hit 20.
Yeah, there's somewhere in
just to stay off that list of like top 10 busts.
No doubt. I was thinking like 35 to 50 was my range of like, I was like, hey, like solid career. I was like, I gotta get a Pro Bowl. I was like, because Pops had 6. Like, I can't be a failure, kid. Like, you know, in my mind, it was a failure not to hit a Pro Bowl. Not like, didn't look at any other metrics of like, oh, you could have a 7, 8 to 10, whatever 5-year career. A year in the league is still successful.
For sure.
You know, like you made
it's hard
it
to
the
get
NFL.
there.
Absolutely. But in my mind, I'm like, I was so jaded. I was like, gotta get a Pro Bowl. Pops played for 13. Gotta make 10 years. Gotta like, you know, I wasn't looking on the outside of like racing against anybody except the Jordan last name, right? I'm like, what I don't want to be is, you know, just that. No, that's Steve's kid. I want to grow out of that. That whatever Steve's kid is, like I don't want to be that. And that was my metrics. I was like 50 sacks. So once I hit 50 sacks, I was like, all right, I gotta change my dream up. It's about me now.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I hit 100 sacks. You can't tell me I'm not top 30 defensive end ever. There's 32 teams in the league. If you pick a franchise, I'm still up there.
Yeah.
So I was like 100 sacks. That's the new goal, and I worked my ass off to get it. And at 100 sacks, I said, okay, I got to reshape the dream.
So where are you at now?
I didn't shoot high enough. I was like,
where are you at now?
I was like 150. I was like, all right, 115 and a half is the Saints record. I was like, I got to go 116. So here I'm at 117 and a half. I'm like, okay.
What's the next number? What's the level up?
Are we ready to announce it right now?
Yeah.
You said that you want to go 2 more years.
I'm gunning for 130 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I'm just on a year by year. So now I'm gunning for 130. If I don't hit 130, it's going to
Literally, I'm going to watch every Saints game just because of you now.
I appreciate that.
Just because of you, because I'm going to be at the crib, and I'm going to be calling Romo face up like, yo, he got another one. He got another one. And I'm going to send it to you. Yeah. I'm watching every game this year because of you.
Yeah, it's going to be me, Carl Granderson, Chase Young, Brian Brzee. I love the odds.
I like it, though.
Yeah.
I like the challenge. That's what's up. I want to see these.
The Brazil kid's going to be a good little player.
What? My guy Brian Brzee is nice.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
I agree. Granderson as well.
So we started our podcast. Well, yeah, we started this podcast. I brought Rome over because I sucked doing it by myself, and I felt like I needed the Batman-Robin combo so we could do this thing together. We could tag team. Our message really is about players in their second acts. Clearly, you are far from that because you're still playing, and you have your own podcast now.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to start that podcast while you were still playing?
Man, me and my guy Mark Ingram had a
class, best friend.
Yeah, that's my dog. Just was in Liberia with him. That's my dog. Kids about the same age. I think he got married relatively around the same time.
Mhm.
Like, life is just great.
What's the name of your podcast?
Yeah, Off the Edge, Off the Edge with Cam Jordan. And to what you just said, it's different doing it alone. Like, it's so much easier with a friend, When you got your boy there, the vibes are always top tier. When you're doing it with yourself, you're like,
you got to bring it.
got to bring the shit today.
You got to
the
bring
We
it.
just lost.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
This is what I signed up for. Bring the juice. You're like, hey, we're gonna talk about how he just blew this bag against Green Bay somehow. But I'm gonna bring the juice today. I don't know how we lost to this team because they were abysmal, and we were the reason that they gained confidence and all of a sudden became a playoff contender. I assume it was our game when you blew a 17 lead.
Yeah, I saw you talk to Jordan Love about that.
Man, yeah, this that'll grind my gears for the rest of my life. Hopefully not. Hopefully we win one this year. Not all I talk about is, oh yeah, remember that year the Saints won the Super Bowl, 2024.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm not even going to hate, but I kind of want to hate because the longer New Orleans goes without winning another championship, they just make my year that much better. So,
Ouch.
not trying to be a hater, but
Ouch.
it's kind of the thought process of a Highlander, where there can only be
You can
one.
only be one. You can only be one.
There
There can only be one. It's kind of cool. So, but not hating on you, Cam. I mean,
Yeah,
I would
He is.
just rather.
the situation.
Yeah.
He hated.
Do young players ever come to you now and try and pick your brain about how you got to where you at, some of your technique things? Like, how do you take that now? Because you truly are. You're the captain. You got all the years on it that you can have filled up.
The old savvy vet.
Yeah, he's that guy now.
You the Jedi
And
Master.
so,
No doubt.
but I've seen this whole transition, and now you're coming full circle. So how do you treat that, and how does that go about, and how often does it happen?
Man, probably since what year? 2014 when you guys left. When did you leave? 2000 from the Saints. 20 what?
What, when I left?
Yeah, when 2014?
13, 14. Yeah, so 13 was my last year, so 14.
That was the huge culture shift, right? 2013, Roman Harper leaves.
So that was 14.
Mal-
yeah, so
yeah,
after
14.
13, 14.
Malcolm Jenkins leaves. Roman Harper leaves. Jonathan Vilma leaves. Will Smith leaves. I look around and I
Heart
go
and
from
soul,
year
bro.
3, 4, from being just like, all right, I'm figuring my shit out, to everybody looking at me like, all right, how do we figure our shit out?
Yeah.
I'm like, so that was a huge culture shift. But since then, since year 4-ish, guys have been coming my way. Hey man, like how do you take care of your body? Hey bro, like I don't take care of my body just yet, bro. Like this actually runs perfectly fine.
Yeah.
How much do you cold tub? I don't cold tub.
Was that weird for you, though, for a guy to ask that?
I mean, because you're 25, and
Yeah.
everybody's
Yeah,
looking at you
literally.
like, all right, well, how do we do this? You got a massage guy? I don't need all that yet. And you're sitting there, gotta figure my stuff out. But it made you rapidly figure shit out
Right.
Mm-hmm.
to where you're like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, well, this is my plan, and this is what's worked for me, and this is how I can help you. And you had young guys at the time like John Jenkins and Akeem Hicks,
Yeah,
who were
big
year
guy.
behind me, which was great, and corral and everything, and just that sort of culture shift. So I've been leading these, my D line for 2
Yeah.
years now. So at this point, it's routine.
Yeah.
Guys come in, and I want to push them to their highest levels.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm on them like, like I'm a coach myself. I'm like, I don't like your hand placement. Like, and I tell them though, I'm like, if you don't like my hand placement, tell me.
Right.
Because at worst comes worse, if you say nothing, it makes me worse and it makes us worse as a unit.
Right.
Because we're a D-line unit.
Mhm.
And so it's sort of easy. It's different when now you got just young guys in general, linebackers, wide receivers, whatever. It's like, all right, well, what do you do? All right, well, let's talk about it. And it's sort of like I said, but it's an easy progression because it became a natural progression early on.
Right.
You were forced into it.
Forced into it.
Sink or swim.
No, hey, what? I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. And I
Yeah.
said, okay, let's respond.
Thrown right in the fire. My next question for you is, with all your success and where you've been and how you've transformed your game, who would you place on your Mount Rushmore of just
Saints,
greatness?
NFL. Period.
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 A life? Okay.
You
It
get
could be
4.
It could be live. It could be for football.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you
mean-
can make it whatever you want.
I mean, there's probably going to be Steve Jordan right there, right? Because
No
I'm
doubt.
like, if without him, there's no me.
Pops is awesome.
Yeah, and even without saying it, like that was always my like North Star, right? That was
Yeah.
like my chasing the dream was Steve Jordan. And then right beside him, I probably put in rest in peace, Chris Dolman.
Yeah.
Grew up,
Oh, yeah,
born
DN.
in Minnesota. Grew up watching this defensive monster of a front, Chris Dolman, John Randall, Keith Millard. At one season,
Randall.
between this D-line, they had like 55 to 60 sacks between just the D-line.
That's
You
a
know,
lot.
stupid.
That's
You
a
know,
lot.
it was like Keith Millard had 19, John Randall had like 13, 14. It was Chris Dolman with another 12. The other defensive end had like another 8 to 9. The rotators had another like 5 or 6. And you're just sitting there, you're like, as a kid, you look back at it, you're like, this is bananas. I was 4, didn't understand the importance of it all. But as I grew up in, high school, whatever it was, those reconnections with Chris Dolman, those chats, those texts as I got older, even into the league, my guy. So rest in peace, Chris Dolman up there. Then you probably say, my wife is up there.
Yeah.
Right? Nikki Jordan is up on Mount Rushmore because she has to deal with my like the same competitive person you see on practice, I bring home and she matches intensity. You've seen Nikki.
I have. I know Nikki.
Yeah, my wife is the most competitive person I know, which I only assume is going to make all 4 of my kids monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be me, it's going to be her, propelling them. Like she's McDonald's All-American out of a school out here in L.A., Marlboro all women's
Basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball. All-American playing basketball. All McDonald's All-American. There we go. All-American is clear football. McDonald's All-American playing basketball. Goes to Rutgers. Ends up whatever that career was, but she ends up playing ball out in Finland.
Mm-hmm.
Jyväskylä, Finland. Like just the need to continue competing. Like, why are you out here? Went to go visit her. It was -30. I said, I can't stay long, actually. Actually. Goodbye. But then, so she's up there because she's a monster. Like I said, we got, and my son, he tells me like it's his day job to tell me. He'd be like, well, Poppy played football, Daddy played football, I'm going to play football. And I'm like, actually, it's okay to be a lawyer, bro. Like, it's okay to be a doctor.
Probably not.
We're gunning for this basketball money. Like, but
Hey, man.
anyways, so that's my 3. And then my 4th, I'm probably going to just insert myself. And then I feel like I have to be up there. If it's my Mount Rushmore, I have to be up there.
That is a first.
That is a first. I was like,
That
as he
is a
said it, I'm
first.
thinking, I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen or heard someone put themselves up there on the Mount Rushmore. So I like it.
Yeah. You look in the mirror, I like what I see. We're doing all right.
I love that.
I love it too.
I actually really like that. Nobody's done that, and I love that.
Yes.
Cam, you always continue to surprise me.
My guy.
Always continue to surprise me.
I appreciate you cutting this. We gonna leave it at that. Thank y'all for listening. Give us a like, share, follow, subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio app. I'm Peanut. That's Rome. That's Cam. He puts himself on his own Mount Rushmore.
And you also now understand why he started out on second base.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the NFL Players Second Acts podcast.